So occasionally I have to rebuild my blaster. Something went wrong during the build process. They don't fire right. And then I kind of need to tear them down, tear them apart, find out what's wrong, and then rebuild them. This was one that was super long. And this was one where when it was super long like that, it was having some issues with gel balls hitting the inside of the barrel because the barrel wasn't perfectly straight. So I did a couple of things here. I shortened it up, right? I changed this to a shorter barrel, changed colors here. I'm trying to make the guns look less real. Part of that is because, I don't want kids or anybody doing anything stupid with these guns when they look realistic. And also because YouTube tries to not let me have or tries to limit my ads on anything that they deem looks too real, even though it's not in their terms of service, which is kind of annoying. But they seem to not have a problem as long as I have these gel blasters being colors that don't look real. So if that's what we got to do, that's okay. It's kind of fun. I got lots of different color paints anyway, so it's kind of cool to do. Anyway, you can see basically just took the pieces I had already. I had to kind of clean them up, modify them a little bit again. These are just going to be mounted on here like this. Probably going to repaint these to that same chrome and have them mounted here, and then have like half the rail, going this direction so that you can have that nice finished end right there, and then half the rail going this direction so you can have the other finished end at the front, and then the unfinished end, even though I'll clean it up and everything, will basically be hidden behind this piece. So that'll look pretty nice, I think. So that's kind of my plan with that. And then this piece is just going to slide on the bottom here so that there's a nice handle, a nice, probably mount it more towards the front as well. So it should be a cool blaster. Now I did set this one up so that you can use an 11.1 volt battery right inside here. So I hollowed it out with plenty of room so that an 11.1 can fit right in there if you want it to. Of course, you can remove the stock if you want to, and then you can just plug a battery in right here, and we would have some sort of battery box situation for that. So this is just another Anstoy AK47 build, kind of this is like a mirror chrome, a special different mirror chrome paint than some of the other chrome paints I've used, and gold, because I already had part of it painted gold and black. So was trying to kind of keep what was still painted nice instead of dealing with all the time with that. But again, tested it. It's working fine now. So that's great. And looking forward to finishing it up so I can show you guys the finished product. So I showed you the build process for this one. This was a blaster I took apart because it wasn't working properly. It had a crazy long barrel on it and then additional silencer, and the gel balls just were not shooting straight. So it wasn't working well. So I tore this one down and kind of rebuilt it, made it different while I was with that, but was able to reuse some pieces. So reused these pieces here, just painted them a different color, reused that front grip handle, just painted it a different color, was able to keep this gold and was able to keep that good to go and clean. And then of course I had the black pieces, which were fine too. So went kind of with a different look on this than I had previously. I thought this was kind of a unique barrel here to put on the front, right? I hadn't used that one before. It's short, kind of futuristic. This kind of has a futuristic look to me, I feel. So that's what I did there. This is just kind of a nice handle, right? And of course, this could be moved forward if you felt like it needed to be, but this would be a great Anstoy AKM 47 or AK47 large that you could use the drum magazine with too, which I like. This has the stock that has plenty of room for a large battery because I've kind of hollowed it out. So you can easily fit in an 11.1 volt battery in there if you'd like to. This is one of those blasters where I've been told that it's okay to use an 11.1 in it. And I haven't really heard otherwise. Whereas, like Splatterball sounds like you should really be careful with that. Now, I've had no issues with any of mine, but I'm not out there using them for hours at a time either. So again, anytime you're upgrading to 11.1, do so at your own risk, okay? Just know that with any of the blasters, even like this one, because you could still, I think, burn it out eventually. And of course, we do have that auxiliary plug here if I ever wanted to put some sort of battery box on here because I want to remove the stock and use it that way too. All right, so we're going to go shoot it. You can see here, just kind of give you the full look, right? So happy with how it turned out. I like it better than it was before. And then, of course, it actually works like it's supposed to now, which is a big plus. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting. Make sure you're subscribed. And, of course, participate in the Gel Blaster giveaways. I give away at least 2 blasters every month. We might up that the more subscribers I get. So just stay tuned. The April giveaway will be Glock style blasters. So that may be coming up. It may be going by now, or it may have even passed by the time this video goes live. But, you know, I love giving the blasters away, and hopefully you guys like it. Thanks for all the support, and thanks for all the participation. Here's a little rebuild on an Anstoy AK47 where I built it out really long and it wasn't shooting good. So I kind of took it apart, redid it, was able to reuse some pieces, painted them up a different color. So we kind of got that chrome, silver, the gold, and the black. Black magazine, hollowed out stock here, so an 11.1 volt fits in there, no problem. So we'll do a little shooting with it. We'll test the FPS. Let's see where it ends up. So it's still kind of splattering the balls all over, kind of just spraying them a little crazy, which is interesting because this is not a very big, there's not much extra barrel on here. So it's kind of interesting that we are getting a spray like that. Let's see what kind of FPS we're getting. Looks like, again, around that 125 mark. So, you know, one thing to think about is I'm making some of these blasters, I end up making really cool looking, but it does seem to make them weaker. So it just kind of depends what you're going for, if you're looking for cosmetics or you're looking for performance. But when you do start messing with stuff, you start cutting stuff, putting new barrels on, that kind of thing, definitely can give you some drag and that kind of thing, which will slow down your FPS. So you can see it's just kind of spraying all over, which still a fun, cool looking blaster, but you know, if you're trying to hit someone, that makes it a little harder. So again, it's an Anstoy AK47 customized, right? Painted up, 3D printed parts here, 3D printed part, 3D printed part, hollowed out stock so that you can put an 11.1 volt battery will fit in there. So you don't have to use a battery box if you don't want to, but of course you always have the auxiliary with this blaster. So hey, make sure you guys are commenting and liking. If you ask questions, I do my best to answer all of them, and participate in the Gel Blaster giveaways. There's always at least one every month.